Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We are back to the daily Shlog. I hope you guys enjoyed our camping trip. If you didn't get to see that video, I'll put a card right up here. Check that out. It's kind of a long one, but we had a lot of fun. I think you guys enjoy it. If you do watch that video and like that video, make sure you give me a comment on it. I'd like to know if you like those kind of long form videos. It's a little over a half an hour. I figure it's kind of like watching a TV episode. I don't know. Anyway, it is Tuesday. It's beautiful here in Western Colorado again, and it is time to get after it. Hopefully going to get that YZ250 all sorted out today. The one that we just rebuilt the motor. We ended up having some weird carburetor problems towards the end of the day on Saturday. We didn't get it solved, but I think we have it sorted out. So hopefully we'll get that thing running and ripping for that guy today. And let's see, I don't know what else is going on today. We're just gonna find out when we get there. So let's get on with the daily Shlog. All right, guys, we're at the shop. Zach Sheets got the YZ250 running. Interesting situation, one that I haven't had on a modern bike. So we got the motor all together. We had carburetor problems. It was weird. The jet block gasket on the Keyan seemed like it was like just a little off. I thought they kind of could only go one way. Anyway, it was hanging up the needle in the main jet. So anyway, we got that fixed. That was good. Then it ran for a second and then backfired and stopped. And that was awesome. So couldn't really figure out what was going on. Took the flywheel off. I had this crazy steely flywheel weight on it. So we got that flywheel weight off, got the flywheel off, and sure enough, it had sheared the woodruff key and, you know, was out of time. It wasn't sparking right. So I fortunately have a YZ250 right there and was able to pull the woodruff key and the nut off the end of the crank and get the kid going. So they haven't picked it up yet. They're going to do that. I let them borrow my KTM over the weekend because I was going to ride the YZ anyway. And so kid got to ride over the weekend, which is good. And now his YZ is all fresh and ready to go. So that's awesome. Now, today, Zach is working on this KTM 300 from a friend of ours, Tommy Tompkins. And actually, this bike is going to be for sale when we're done with it. Zach just cleaned the carburetor, got it dialed in, and it's running good now. To make sure it starts good and kind of go through everything, see what it all needs, talk to Tom, see what he wants to spend the money on, and then he's gonna make someone a smoking deal on it. I don't know exactly what that means, but those are his words. So I think it'll probably be a great deal. It's a 15, I believe, and it's an actual 6 days, not just stickers. It's got the cool guy triple clamps and all the everything. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So comment below if you're interested. Like I said, I don't know what smoking deal means, but it's going to be probably a pretty good deal. Now, next in line is I got to work on a couple Hondas, get those running, little mini bikes, a 50 and a 70. But then we're going to be taking this KX100 apart because the crank makes noises, and that's sad. But we're going to do that. Gonna take the top end off, see what all we need. I know it needs a crank. Just gotta see if it needs a cylinder replate also. Then we'll move forward on that guy. And yeah, rock and roll with the week. Thursday night ride this week is going to be up on the plateau again, probably up Highway 90 this week. So a little bit different area. Yeah, let's get after it. All right, first up on the left is the venerable XR6 or I was going to say 650. The XR50, or I guess technically this is a CRF. I think they changed the name in 04, but it's an XR. And we need to get it running. Guy just bought it for his kids, which is super cool. And the carburetor looks like that. So classic situation, been sitting around hanging out. So we're going to take it apart. I've shown you guys this stuff a bunch of times, but I'm just going to keep showing you because it seems like carburetors are what we do probably the most of during the spring. But yeah, we're gonna take this thing over to the Ultrasonic, get a good look at it now, put it in there with some Fabuloso, and we'll take a look at what it looks like when we get done. There we go. Look at that thing, fresh out of the Ultrasonic. Float bowl looks just as good. Yeah, if you guys don't have an Ultrasonic cleaner, you need one. I'll put a link in the description for where we get them from Amazon. They are worth owning if you work on anything, just because they make things shiny and happy like that. So I got the air filter service and everything. Put this thing back on. I checked spark. It does spark. That's always a good idea when you're working with something that doesn't run, and normally it's been sitting, so therefore it should be the carburetor. Always a good idea to just check spark just to make sure it is doing that. It is, so that's good. So yeah, we should be good to go here in just a bit. All right, got the 50 back together. Let's see how she does. 50cc of fury, people. I like it. There's gonna be a little kid that's super stoked. Let's take it for a spin. Time to work on the 70 and then get that KX100 apart. Zach, by the way, is servicing mooses on the WR. It's something that a lot of people don't do. Usually I burn through tires fast enough that I don't need to service the moose, like re-lube it. But this guy, he's got a couple bikes. He doesn't ride them both a whole ton, so he just has us take them apart, lube them up, and put them back in once a year on one of them. His other bike is KTM. He actually does quite a bit, so yeah, this is awesome. Everybody needs a 50. There he is, the angriest man, taking out his anger on a WR 290. Oh, that's another thing, guys. So 254 strokes up here in the mountains suffer a little bit because, you know, it's 6,000 feet up, and so the lack of displacement makes them not that great. So this guy, he's got a 350 KTM, but then he also has this. It was his kid's, but he decided to keep it when his kid grew up and moved away. And we put a 290 kit in it and an FMF silencer on it and cams, and that is one fun motorcycle to ride now. Super duper fun. So, all right, XR70 time. All right, XR70 up on the lift, dripping gas because the petcock is no bueno. Still waiting on a new one of those, but in the meantime, clean the carburetor to get it running, and look at that. That's a new one. I'm not even sure what that is. It almost looks like paint, but I know there's no paint in here. So I'm gonna send this guy through the Ultrasonic and see how it turns out. I really don't know how that's gonna work out, so I guess we're gonna find out here pretty soon. All right, so cooking the carburetor on the old XR70 over there, but now we are getting the 100 apart. So let's find out what's inside a blown up KX100. And let me start by saying that I don't think it's just gnarly carnage in there. You can see I already got the cylinder head off. But what I do think is going on is the bottom end of the connecting rod. I think that bearing is no bueno. So we're gonna find out though here real soon. Power valve actuator on these things is always a little bit kind of hard to deal with. But there we go. And feels okay. The piston's definitely been smacking around a little bit. Ooh, that's what would be making the noise. The bottom end feels good. They might have some happy news for them, because they were definitely expecting a complete rebuild when I talked to them. But yeah, let's pop those circlips out, pull this thing apart, and make sure all the needles are there. That's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about, but I don't think they can really get out of there. So let's take this thing apart and see. I'm blaming you, Zach Sheets. That's my baby. That's my Vulcan or Klingon seat.
Really? You like that? That's weird looking.
It is weird, and it's ugly as sin, but I do like it actually. I like it for numerous reasons. It's actually not nearly as uncomfortable as it looks.
Right?
But the main reason I like it is it's almost indestructible.
Right.
So you can like crash on it, whatever.
Yeah,
it's all
tear
one.
up.
Yeah, it's one piece, so there's no cover.
Gotcha.
On it to tear.
Huh.
It's waterproof, which is nice.
Right.
And then it provides an icebreaker to ask questions. All right, guys. So amazingly enough, I think that everything is fine with the crank and all that. So we checked here. I've got no play up and down, no wiggle side to side, nothing. I mean, it does move side to side, but that's. By the way, here's a quick little bit of information for you guys. If you're ever tearing one of these things apart, I highly recommend you do. If you're got a blown up motor, take it apart and figure out how to fix it. That's part of my goal here with this channel, is to teach you guys and give you guys the confidence to take things apart. You know, if you don't want to, bring it to me. We'll definitely fix it for you. But I like seeing people learn about how things work. But one of the things you need to understand about a connecting rod on a crank is that it will move this way, side to side. That's okay. Up and down is where you can't have any motion. And this one is perfect. Also, with the wrist pin bearing back in and the pin through it, there's no movement up here, so that's good. Also, check the surface in here for any kind of scoring or marks or anything. That looks really good. Take a look at the let's see if we can get it up in here. It's kind of dirty because I just ran a hone through it to clean it up. You know, a diamond ball hone to kind of clean it up, take the glazing out. Anyway, cylinder looks great. But let me show you something. I don't know if you guys can see on here, but there's play right there. So the piston and probably the pin to a degree are worn out where it was going through there, and that was what was causing it to click, click, click. So I think this kid's gonna be super stoked and lucky. Just gonna get a top end, put it back together, and let her rip. I think he's gonna be ready to rock and roll. He's got some kind of, see here. So there's some kind of funky wear right there on the piston, but I don't think, let's see, it should be the intake side. It all looks really good, so My guess is that's from maybe the movement. But everything seems good. So pretty stoked about that. It's about the end of the day. Zach Sheets is working on the cleanest 2000 KX250 ever. It's got it running good. By the way, that thing is for sale. I think it's going to go to Mr. Eric McGrew, our buddy who's building the motorized bicycle here in his free time. He's an arborist. He's building that thing. So I think he's actually going to buy a real motorcycle so we can quit making fun of him. So that's good. Zach is smiling. Every now and then I can make Zach Sheets smile. It's rare, but it's a big win in my boat. Like, if I can get him to smile, I feel like I've won the day. So yeah, he's working on that. So yeah, about the end of the day, we'll hit you guys with an outro here in just a second after I pack some stuff up. Oh, right on, guys. What an awesome day. Yeah, lots of stuff done. Got things diagnosed, got stuff torn apart, things put together. It's a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. It makes a massive difference for us. We're just trying to spread this gospel of two wheels around the world. Trying to get people fired up about working on bikes, riding bikes, all that good stuff. And you guys know what I'm gonna say. Please get out, spread the gospel of two wheels. And I hope that I have inspired you to find some time to ride your dirt bikes.